Okay, so I've got the photo of Peaselburg that was taken sometime in the 1880s, perhaps, on the left side of the screen. I'm going to zoom in on that a little bit. The points, so we've got 4 points marked in blue. They correspond to the modern map. These 4 points over here on the right. I'm going to zoom in on that again. Maybe that was a little bit much. Hang on a second. So, also on the left, I added some guidelines to help figure out where the streets were. So this is 20th. This is the alleyway that's in between 20th and 21st. Here's 21st. Here's Howell. So I've got these points pretty close together. The red point corresponds to any image that or any point that I click in the image, it'll map it to the transform of the map. It's going to jump for a second, so put it back here on the street. See, that seems to tie into 21st pretty well. Up here by this gate, this is pretty close to where the photo was taken. And it looks like it would be just behind center, and it's also right about where the hillside starts to go back up fairly steep. There's going to be some error, like if I get too far out of these 4 points, the error gets worse. There's a little bridge over here at 20th and Howell, and I'd say that starts to get kind of bad. If I were to keep going over here, yeah, it's not moving over enough. However, if I'm on 20th, it seems to follow 20th pretty well. If I'm in the alleyway, it seems to follow the alleyway pretty well. Take the alleyway the other direction. Seems to be pretty close to following that. It starts to curve out, and you can kind of make out that it's starting to jump. Well, that was a bad click on my part. There we go. This is kind of interesting where the alley stops, where the creek would have been. So right about this fence line, if the alley had continued but there was a creek there, that corresponds to a road that you can kind of make out in the, and I'm not quite clicking it properly, but there's a little bit of a road right here down into that creek. So that's kind of interesting. Where some of the houses are, where some of the buildings are. So these guys out here in the street, the corner where one of the houses is. And I'll work my way back in. Now, but because these are all laid out in basically a plane, and then this hillside is a plane heading in a different direction, it's where things start to fall apart. If I click in here a little bit closer, it's possible that the photo was taken up on the hillside. That's the part that's a little weak, but in general, it's pretty good about, it's going to be approximately this area. That's where the photo was taken. So it would be basically, I think, where there's some condos on Central. Let's see if we can click on some other things here. There's a foundation of a building. Seems, close to being right. It's sort of a road here, and that actually makes sense. That more or less follows where Central is now, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, I guess that's about all I got on figuring out where this photo was taken. Looks like it was slightly behind Central and 21st.